A Museum Website Guide. Chapter 1. Museum Website Guide. Major museum websites. Every September 27, which is Museum Day, some museums have free admission. SmithsonianMag.com, Museumspot.com, Museumspot.com, Best Guide to Museums on the Web. musee-online.org/home.asp, search by country, city, state, or type. museumstuff.com/museums/index.html, museumstuff.com, search by keyword or click US Guide. icom.org/vlmp, virtual library museums page, International Directory of Museum Sites. aam-us.org, American Association of Museums, go to find a museum. museumstuff.com, links to museums worldwide. icom.org. museumsusa.org. museumspot.com, pretty good links. museum.com. museumland.net. musee.com, museum stores. artcyclopedia.com/museums.html. hightechscience.org/museums.htm. findthelinks.com/reference/world_wide_museums.htm. flickr.com/groups/world museums gallery. gallery-guide.com/current. greatmuseums.org. Museum websites 1. britishmuseum.org, the British Museum. London, England. nmi.si.edu/home, National Museum of the American Indian. Natural Science and Technology Museums. mnh.si.edu, National Museum of Natural History, Smithsonian Institution, Washington, D.C., USA. seeing-stars.com/museums, Hollywood Museums in the Los Angeles area. mv.vatican.va/3_n/pages/mv_home.html, Vatican Museums. atomicmuseum.com, National Atomic Museum. museumstuff.com, gateway to museum websites. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/list_of_museums_in_the_United_States. morganlibrary.org, the Morgan Library, New York City. flholocaustmuseum.org, Florida Holocaust Museum. aam-us.org, American Association of Museums. amn.org, Art Museum Network. mariner.org, the Mariners Museum. aviation-history.com, Aviation History Online Museum. comlab.ox.ac.uk/archive/other/museums.html, www Virtual Library Museums. ucmp.berkeley.edu, UC Museum of Paleontology. nhm.ac.uk, the Natural History Museum. flmnh.ufl.edu, Florida Museum of Natural History, J.C. Dickinson Hall on the University of Florida campus, Gainesville. nmbe.unib.ch, History Museum, Bern, NMBE. bacteriamuseum.org, the Virtual Museum of Bacteria. lacma.org, LA County Museum of Art. usham.org, United States Holocaust Memorial Museum. metmuseum.org, the Metropolitan Museum of Art. mos.org, Museum of Science, Boston. rbcm1.rbcm.gov.bc.ca, Royal British Columbia Museum. sln.fi.edu, the Franklin Institute Science Museum. toaster.org, the Toaster Museum Foundation. unmuseum.mus.pa.us/unmuseum.htm, the Museum of Unnatural Mystery. ucmp.berkeley.edu/subway/subway.html, Museum Resource Guides. cincinnatiartmuseum.com, Cincinnati Art Museum. farnsworthmuseum.org, the Farnsworth Art Museum, Rockland. Maine. hfmgv.org, Henry Ford Museum. aphf.org, American Police Hall of Fame and Museum. museumlink.com, Museum Links Museum of Museums. airsicknessbags.com, Air Sickness Bag Virtual Museum. dungarvanmuseum.org, Dungarvan Museum Society, Waterford, Ireland. Museum websites 2. phxart.org, Phoenix Art Museum. museum.ru/deafenglish.htm, Russian museums. nrm.org, Norman Rockwell Museum at Stockbridge. artsblock.ucr.edu/page/California-museum-of-photography, California Museum of Photography. newyorkhistory.org, New York Historical Society, New York City's oldest museum. financialhistory.org, Museum of American Financial History. aerospacemuseum.org, San Diego Aerospace Museum. hermitagemuseum.org, the State Hermitage Museum, St. Petersburg, Russia. nature.ca, Canadian Museum of Nature. museumphones.com, Cyber Telephone Museum. museum.state.sc.us, South Carolina State Museum. Museum websites 3. thehungermuseum.org. The Hunger Museum. 24hourmuseum.org.uk, UK Museums, Galleries. smith.edu/hsc/museum/ancient_inventions, Smith College, Museum of Ancient Inventions. katonganmuseum.org, Burton Cottingen and Museum. pilgrimhall.org, Pilgrim Hall Museum, America's Museum of Pilgrim Possessions, Plymouth, Massachusetts. salemwitchmuseum.com, Salem Witch Museum, 1692. borail.org, B&O Railroad Museum. ucmp.berkeley.edu, Museum of Paleontology. furtrade.org, Museum of the Fur Trade. virtualmuseum.ca, Virtual Museum of Canada. textilemuseum.org, the Textile Museum. webexhibits.org, webexhibits. childrensmuseums.org, Association of Children's Museums. imj.org.il, the Israel Museum, Jerusalem. nationalcowboymuseum.org, National Cowboy and Western Heritage Museum, Oklahoma City, OK. smith.edu/hsc/museum/ancient_inventions/home.htm, Museum of Ancient Inventions. irm.org, Illinois Railway Museum. wshs.org, Washington State Historical Society. museumofhoaxes.com, Museum of Hoaxes. exploratorium.edu, the Exploratorium San Francisco. peterson.org, Peterson Automotive Museum. themomi.org, the Museum of Musical Instruments. natmuse.gl, Greenland National Museum and Archives. civildefensemuseum.com, Civil Defense Museum. tenement.org, 13.org/tenement, the Lower East Side Tenement Museum. Museums of the World. museum.com. Virtual Library Museums Pages, VLMP. icom.museum/VLMP. Vatican Museums. mv.vatican.va/3_n/pages/mv_home.html. Natural History Museums and Collections. lib.washington.edu/sla/natmuse.html. American Association of Museums, AAM. aam-us.org. solovamerica.com, Black Museums. solovamerica.com/index.php?id =1350,0,0,1. Fine Arts Museums of San Francisco. famsf.org. San Francisco Airport Museums. sfoarts.org. Museum of Online Museums, MUM. coudal.com/MUM. Museums and the Online Archive of California, MOAC. bampfa.berkeley.edu/moac. The Metropolitan Museum of Art. metmuseum.org. Broadcasting in Chicago, 1921 to 1989. richsamuels.com. Museums Association. museumsassociation.org. Smithsonian Guidelines for Accessible Exhibition Design. si.edu/accessibility/sgaed. Odyssey Online Teacher Resource Site. carlos.emory.edu/odyssey/teachers/index.htm. American International Rattlesnake Museum. rattlesnakes.com. National Civil Rights Museum. civilrightsmuseum.org. The British Museum. britishmuseum.org. Deutsches Historisches Museum. dhm.de. University of California Museum of Paleontology. ucmp.berkeley.edu. Museum websites for gditech.com.my/museums, museums in Malaysia. guggenheim.org. highmonkey.net/museums. liverpoolmuseums.org.uk. museum.com. museumca.org/USA. museumsassociation.org. museumserver.nl. museumstuff.com, list of U.S. museums by state. northvalley.net/kids/museums.html. si.edu, Smithsonian Institution. worldartviews.com. wwar.com, Worldwide Arts Resources. wwar.com/museums.html, list of museums. newszoom.org, news. museumsyndicate.com, go to the museum section, click on one of the entries and you will be taken to a page that has the museum's website on it, one by one. webexhibits.org, web exhibits. Museum websites 5. ashp.cuny.edu/lm, The Lost Museum, explores P.T. Barnum's American Museum, was destroyed in 1865 in a fire. asianaart.com. askrt.com, AskArt, site maintains a database on 25,000 American artists spanning the 16th to the 21st centuries. aster.mediabridge.com/nyc/museums. atomicmuseum.com, National Atomic Museum. austmuse.gov.au, Australian Museum. bakenmuseum.org, Science. bc.edu/bc_org/avp/cas/fnart/art, Digital Archive of Art, collection of images of paintings from the 18th and 19th centuries and sculpture from the ancient Greek period, the Renaissance, and the 19th and 20th centuries. bc.edu/bc_org/avp/cas/fnart/artweb.html, art on the web, extensive directory of art sites organized by historical time periods. biblex.org. bishop.hawaii.org, Natural and Cultural History. bookweb.cwis.uci.edu/museum graphics. bremen.de/info/Uebersee, Uebersee Museum in Bremen, Germany, in German. brooks.af.mil/hangar 9, Military Museum. burgerweb.com, International Hamburger. butlerart.com, Butler Institute of American Art, the. bevis.uic.edu/museum, Field Museum of Natural Sciences. calacademy.org, California Academy of Sciences. canton-ohio.com/hoff, football. cc.emory.edu/carlos/carlos.html, eclectic. cellini.leonardo.net/museum. cftech.com, go to the brain bank. cgfa.acropolisinc.com, Carol Gurdon's Virtual Museum. chateauversailles.fr. chateauversailles.fr, Versailles. chateauversailles.fr, Versailles, official site, a virtual tour of the magnificent chateau commissioned by the Sun King himself, Louis XIV. chicagonews.com/museums.htm, Chicago. Chihuly.com, Dale Chihuly homepage. childrensmuseum.org, Children's Museum of Indianapolis, world's largest children's museum dating back to 1925. christusrex.org, Christus Res, Top 100 Websites, PC Magazine. christusrex.org 1/Vaticano/ Chrysler.org, Chrysler Museum of Art. CincinnatiArtMuseum.org. CincyMuseum.org. Civilization.ca, Canadian Museum of Civilization. civilization.ca/membrs/lobby.html, the Canadian Museum of Civilization. civilwarmed.org, Civil War Medicine Museum. cjn.or.jp/Tokugawa/index.html, Tokugawa Art Museum. clemusart.com, Cleveland Museum of Arts. clevelandart.org, Cleveland Museum of Art. clpgh.org/Warhol, Andy Warhol. cmog.org, Corning Glass Museum. cnac-gp.fr, Centre National d'Art et de Culture Georges Pompidou. colmusart.org, Columbus Museum of Art. comlab.ox.ac.uk/archive/other/museums.html. rts.com, Communication Arts. cowboyhalloffame.org. cowgirl.net, Cowgirl. csc.clpgh.org, Carnegie Science Center. culture.gov.fr/culture/arcnat/chauvet/n, the Cave of Chauvet Pont d'Arc. This is the famous prehistoric cave paintings in France. dallasmuseumofart.org. davismuseum.wellesley.edu, Davis Museum and Cultural Center. dcn.davis.ca.us/go/explorit, Explorit Science. ddg.art.pl/nm, Poland. dcordova.org, Museum and Sculpture Park. delta.it/mucgt, folk culture. devlab.dartmouth.edu/olympic, the Ancient Olympic Games Virtual Museum. Museum websites 6. dia.org, Detroit Institute of Arts. dia.org, the Detroit Institute of Arts. diacenter.org, Dia Center for the Arts. DubaiArtShop.com, Dubai Art Shop. duim.org/law_museum/hallfame.aspx. Eastmanhouse.org, George Eastman House Museum of Photography and Film. ednet.ns.ca/educ/museum, Nova Scotia Museum. educationstate.ak.us/lam/museum/home.html, Alaska. egallery.com/index.html, Electric Gallery, the, si.edu, Encyclopedia Smithsonian, homepage. Egyptian Museum. egyptianmuseum.com. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/circus_world_museum. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/list_of_jail_and_prison_museums. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/world_museum_Liverpool. exploratorium.edu. exploratorium.edu, Exploratorium. exploratorium.edu/Nagasaki, remembering Nagasaki. fastnet.ch/lsne/articles/musee/musee.html, Les Musées de Lausanne. ferris.edu/news/Jim Crow/index.htm, Jim Crow Museum, Big Rapids, Michigan. fieldmuseum.org, the Field Museum of Natural History, Museum, Science, Exhibit, Education, Natural History, History, Paleontology, Explore, Dinosaurs, Field Museum of Natural History. fine-art.com, Internet for the Fine Arts. flmnh.ufl.edu, Museum of Natural History, Gainesville, FL. fmch.ukla.edu, Fowler Museum of Cultural History. fmnh.org, Natural History, Chicago. fmnh.org/exhibits/online_xhib.htm, The Field Museum of Natural History exhibits. fonz.org, National Zoo, Washington, D.C. galileo.imss.forenza.it, History of Science. Galinsky.com/buildings/louvre/index.htm, Le Grand Louvre. Genghis.com/fairbanks/museum.htm. Getty.edu, the Getty Museum site offers nearly 54,000 pages related to works of art and professional reports in conservation and art history. ggrm.org. gii.getty.edu. gla.acuk80/museum, Hunterian Museum. Globalinfo.com. globalinfo.com/noncom/aerospace/aerospace.html, San Diego Aerospace Museum. globalinfo.com/noncom/firehouse/exhibit.html. goldenagetruckmuseum.com. greatwomen.org, Great Women. gti.ssr.upm.es/man, Archaeology Spain. guggenheim.org. guggenheim.org, Guggenheim Museum. guggenheim.org, Guggenheim Museum of Art, the. guggenheim.org, Peggy Guggenheim Collection. hellofame.org, Country Music. hellofflame.org, Fire Museum. hermitagemuseum.org. hermitagemuseum.org, founded by Catherine the Great of Russia. hfmgv.org, the Henry Ford Museum and Greenfield Village. highdesert.org. history.org, Williamsburg, Colonial America. historywired.si.edu, Smithsonian Institution's History Wired. Welcome to the Smithsonian Institution's History Wired, a few of our favorite things. hpmuseum.org, Museum of HP Calculators. ibiblio.org/wm, Web Museum, Paris. ibiblio.org/wm/paint, Web Museum, Famous Paintings. ibiblio.org/wm/paint/auth/Delacroix, Web Museum, Delacroix. icom.museum/vlmp/usa.html, Museums in the USA, links to online museums. Museum websites 7. icom.org. icom.org/vlmp, Virtual Library Museums. ilpi.com, ArtSource, ArtSource. ilpi.com/artsource/welcome.html, ArtSource. imaginarymuseum.org. imh.org, Horse Museum. imh.org/imh/imhmain.html, the International Museum of Horses. imss.fi.it, Institute and Museum of History of Science, Florence, Italy. indigo.ie/nmi1/museum, National Museum of Ireland. info.ox.ac.uk/departments/hook, science. intel.com/intel/intel-is/museum, computers. ipl.org/div/detjazz, Greystone Museum and the Story of Detroit. ivorylm.com/tildemark/webmuseums.html. jfk.org, John F. Kennedy Museum. jimmy.org/jimmy/tour, the Jimmy Stewart Museum. juilliard.edu, Juilliard School, official site of the School of the Performing Arts. kemperart.org, Kemper Museum of Contemporary Art and Design, includes images from their Georgia O'Keeffe exhibit. kennedy-center.org, John F. kiku.com/electric_samurai/index.html, the Samurai Asian Museum. knoxart.org, Knoxville Museum of Art. lacma.org, Los Angeles County of Art. lam.mus.ca.us/lacmnh, LA County Museum of. lam.mus.ca.us/web museums. lam.mus.ca.us/webmuseum/north_America, Laserium.com, Laserium homepage. latinoweb.com/museo. learner.org/exhibits/renaissance, Renaissance from the Annenberg/CPB collection. lettermuseum.de/frames/hfr_in_e.html, German Leather Museum. leonardo.net/museum. lhs.berkeley.edu, Hall of Science. lib.utah.edu/spc/photos/hp2.html, U of Utah. lylks.com/institute/gallery, Gallery of Regrettable Food. lincolncenter.org, Lincoln Center for the Performing Arts, mostly Mozart. Information about Festival 96, Lincoln Center Out of Doors, Midsummer Night Swing and getting tickets to it all. loc.gov/exhibits/treasures, American Treasures, Library of Congress. louisamayalcott.org/alcottorchard.html, The Orchard House/home of the Alcotts. louvre.fr, Louvre Museum. louvre.fr, Musée du Louvre. lsa.umich.edu/Kelsey, Kelsey Museum of Archaeology, University. mam.org. mariner.org, Mariners Museum. maryrose.org, Maritime Museum. mbcnet.org, Broadcast Communications Museum. mcachicago.org, Museum of Contemporary Art, Chicago. mcachicago.org, Museum of Contemporary Art. mcny.org, Museum of the City of New York. medimuseum.com, Museum of Medicines. memphis.edu/egypt/main.html. medalab.unc.wm, Web Museum. metmuseum.org, Metropolitan Museum of Art. metmuseum.org, Metropolitan Museum. metmuseum.org, Metropolitan, NYC. metmuseum.org/explore/first_cities/first_cities_main.htm, Art of the First Cities. mfa.org, Museum of Fine Arts. mfa.org, Museum of Fine Arts Boston. mfah.org, Museum of Fine Arts Houston. midsouth.rr.com/civil rights, Museum of Civil Rights. min-equip.fr/france.ocean/a_musée.html, le Musée de la Marine. minnesotahistorymuseums.org. mip.berkeley.edu, Berkeley Museum Informatics. mistral.culture.fr/Louvre. mistral.nst.fr/wm. mit.edu/museum/exhibits/exhibits.html, MIT. mnhs.org, Minnesota Historical History. moma.org, Museum of Modern Art. moma.org, Museum of Modern Art, NYC. moneymuseum.com, Money Museum. montana.edu/www. more, the Museum of the Rockies. morsemuseum.org. mos.org, Museum of Science, Boston. mos.org/leonardo/qtvr4.html, Leonardo da Vinci Museum. mountvernon.org, Historic Mount Vernon, the home of George Washington. mpm.edu, Milwaukee Public Museum. msichicago.org, Chicago Museum of Science and Industry. msichicago.org, Museum of Science and Industry. mtr.org, Museum of Radio and Television. multart.com.br, Brazilian arts and culture from Brazil to the world. mum.org, Museum of Menstruation and Women's Health. musa.uffizi.forenza.it, Galleria degli Uffizi. musee-fesch.com. musee-online.org. Museum websites 8. musee-online.org, Museums Online. musidalcentro.mi.it, Milano Town Center's museums. Museo Prado.mcu.es, Museo Nacional del Prado, Spain. nga.gov, National Gallery of Art. Museum websites. museum.brandex.net, Da Vinci. museum.org.sg/acm/acm.html, Asian Civilizations Museum. museum.org.sg/sam/sam.html, Singapore Art Museum. museum.state.il.us. museum.state.il.us, Illinois State Museum. museum.state.il.us/vlmp/index.html. museum.state.sc.us. museum.tv, Museum of Broadcasting. museum.upenn.edu/new/research/iraq/index.shtml, The Cultural Heritage of Iraq. museumca.org. museum-london.org.uk. museumofbadart.org, Museum of Bad Art. museumofcostume.co.uk, Museum of Costume. abemuseum.org, Abe Museum. museumoflight.org. museumofhoaxes.com. museumofquackery.com, the Museum of Questionable Medical Devices. museumspot.com, Museumspot. museumstuff.com. museumstuff.com, museumstuff.com/museum/unusual.php. museumstuff.com, museumstuff. museumstuff.com, museumstuff. museum/tours.com/museum/index.htm, the Virtual Egyptian Museum. music.ed.ac.uk/euchmi, historic musical. muskegonmuseum.org, Muskegon County Museum, ME. mv.vatican.va/3_n/pages/mv_home.html, Vatican Museum. mystic.org, Mystic Seaport. mysticaquarium.org, CT. narmuz-lj.si, National Museum of Slovenia. nasm.si.edu, National Air and Space Museum. national.gallery.ca, National Gallery of Canada. nationalcowboymuseum.org, National Cowboy. nationalgallery.org.uk. ncsc.dni.us/fun/user/tcc/cmuseum, obsolete. nih.gov, National Endowment for the Humanities. nelson-atkins.org, Art in KC, MO. net.org, Computer Museum, Boston. netmuseum.org. newsum.com, newsum.org, Archive of News. newsum.org, Museum News. newsum.org, newsum, ad.c, area museum that will take visitors behind the scenes to see and experience how and why news is made. nga.gov, Gallery of Art. nga.gov, National Gallery of Art. nga.gov, National Gallery of Art, search for information on the more than 100,000 works in the collection. nhm.ac.uk, Natural History Museum. nhm.ac.uk, the Natural History Museum in London. nltl.columbia.edu/students/dba/freud. nma.si.edu, National Museum of American Art. nmbe.unib.ch, Natural History Switzerland. nmnh.si.edu, Museum of Natural History. nms.ac.uk, National Museums of Scotland. nmsi.ac.uk, London Science Museum. nmwa.org, the National Museum of Women in the Arts. nmwh.org, the National Museum of Women's History. Noguchi.org, Isamu Noguchi Garden Museum, displays a comprehensive collection of artwork by sculptor, 1904 to 1988, in a tranquil setting created by the artist. Northmuseum.org, North Museum of Natural History and Science. npg.org.uk, National Portrait Gallery. npg.si.edu, National Portrait Gallery. nps.gov/mimi, the Minuteman Missile National Historic Site. nrm.se/welcome.html.n, Swedish Museum of Natural History. ny.edu/gsas/njunec/science.html. nibg.org, New York Botanical Garden. oberlin.edu/www.map/allen_art.html, Allen Memorial Art Museum, Oberlin College. oir.ucf.edu/wm. olympic.org/flat/index.html. olympic.org/uk/passion/museum/home_uk.asp, the Olympic Museum. pam.org, Portland Art Museum. paris.org/musees/louvres. pem.org, Peabody/Essex Museum. pem.org, Peabody Essex Museum, Salem. Ma. philadelphiamuseum.org. philadelphiamuseum.org, Philadelphia Museum of Art. Museum websites 9. photography-museum.com. photographymuseum.com, American Museum of Photography. photographymuseum.com/guide.html, the American Museum of Photography Guided Tour. phxart.org, Phoenix Art Museum. picasso.fr, Picasso, the official site. picasso.tamu.edu, online Picasso project. pit.edu/medit, medieval art and architecture, collection of architectural images from the Middle Ages. portugal.com/museum.htm, Museum of Foreign Groceries. primenet.com/art-rom/mueum web. quixhave.com/museum.htm, barbers. radiohof.org, radio. rama9art.org, Rama 9 Art Museum. rbcm.gov.bc.ca, Royal British Columbia Museum. carnegiehall.org. redcross.org/museum, American Red Cross Virtual Museum. rockhall.com, The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and Museum. rom.on.ca, Royal Ontario Museum, Toronto. rom.on.ca, Royal Ontario Museum. rosicrucian.org/muse-plan/0-museum.html, royalnavalmuseum.org, Royal Naval Museum. rs6000.beavis.uic.edu/museum/dna_to_dinosaurs.ht. San Francisco. sculptor.org, sculptor.org, comprehensive resource for sculptors in all media. sdmart.org, San Diego Museum of Art. seeing2020.com/museum/lookup.htm. seniorcitizenlocalweb.com/museum/museum.htm. sfmoma.org, San Francisco Museum of Modern Art. sfsu.edu/tilde-museums/t/museums.html, Bay Area Museum Connection. Developed by the Museum Studies program at San Francisco State University. si.edu, Smithsonian. si.edu, Smithsonian Institute. si.edu, Smithsonian Institution homepage. si.edu, The Smithsonian. slip.net/graphion/museum.html, graphions. sln.fi.edu, Franklin Institute Science Museum. sln.fi.edu, Franklin Institute Science Museum, electronically tour the museum's exhibits and access resources. smartmuseum.uchicago.edu. smb.spk-berlin.de, Berlin. smm.org, Science Museum of Minnesota. southseaport.org, NYC. spectrumnet.com/pez memorabilia. strongmuseum.org, Children's, Toy Museum. sunrise.it/musi/occ Museum of Eyewear. sunsite.unc.edu/expo/deadsea.scrolls.exhibit. sunsite.unc.edu/expo/ticket_office.html, expo, exhibit organization. sunsite.unc.edu/Louvres. sunsite.unc.edu/wm. sunsite.unc.edu/wm, Web Museum, the place on the web for all art buffs. sunsite.unc.edu/wm/paint/auth/saison, sunsite.unc.edu/wm/paint/auth/gogon, Paul. surfingmuseum.org, the International Surfing Museum. sva.edu/MoMA, Art Museum. tate.org.uk, Tate Gallery, museum contains the national collection of British art from the 16th century to the present, as well as the national collection of international modern art. tfam.gov.tw/html/mainselect-e.htm, Taipei Fine Arts Museum. theartcenter.net. thebritishmuseum.ac.uk. thedaropzone.org, the Drop Zone Virtual Museum, WW2 Airborne. thekitchen.org, Kitchen, the Kitchen Center for Video, Music, Dance, Performance, Film, and Literature. thetech.org, Tech Museum of Innovation. thevor.com, the VOR, the best of international culture online. thinker.org, Fine Arts Museum of San Francisco. thinker.org, Fine Arts Museum of San Francisco, with 60,000 works on paper. Our image-base is currently the largest searchable art image base in the world. thinker.org, San Francisco. tnm.go.jp, Tokyo National Museum. toaster.org, Toaster Museum, historic pictorial collection of toasters. tourigypt.net. tourism.eg.net/attractions_detail.asp?code =$6, the. toymuseum.com. toymuseum.com, Museum of Advertising Icons. toyota.co.jp/museum, Toyota Automobile Museum in Tokyo. trueust.com/bbhc, Buffalo Bill Historical Center. ucmp.berkeley.edu, the UC Berkeley Museum of Paleontology. ucmp.berkeley.edu, UC Museum of Paleontology. uffizi.forenza.it, Galleria Uffizi, Italian artists' works. umich.edu/mother Mother of Art History pages. umich.edu/umm, University of Michigan Museum of Art. unmuseum.mus.pa.us/unmuseum.htm, the Museum of Unnatural Mystery. Museum websites 10. unmuseum.org, the Museum of Unnatural Mystery. upenn.edu/museum. usham.org, Holocaust Memorial Museum. usham.org/museum/exhibit/online, Holocaust Museum Tour. vam.ac.uk, Victoria and Albert Museum. vam.ac.uk, Victoria and Albert Museum, home to 145 galleries containing some of the world's greatest collections of fine arts. vangoghgallery.com, Van Gogh Gallery, the definitive reference for Vincent van Gogh, his biography, his complete works, paintings, drawings, and watercolors. vangoghmuseum.nl, Van Gogh Museum. The Van Gogh Museum is located on the Museumplein in Amsterdam, between the Rijksmuseum and the Stedelijk Museum. vggallery.com, Vincent van Gogh Gallery. villarustica.de/tour/touri.html, an ancient Roman villa. virginia.edu/vam/vamhome.html, Virginia Association. virtualfreesites.com/museums.html, virtual tour of museums. virtualmuseum.ca, Virtual Museum of Canada. vlmp.museofile.com, Virtual Library Museum pages. voicenet.com//dravk/toltar. walkerart.org, Minneapolis, MN. warhol.org, Andy Warhol Museum. warhol.org, the Andy Warhol Museum. web.mit.edu/museum, MIT Museum, mmfa.qc.ca, Montreal Museum of Fine Arts, the, Montshire.net, Montshire Museum of Science. web-arts.com.au, Web of Arts, site consists of links to arts-related sites for art lovers, artists, and students. webexhibits.org, Web Exhibits. wga.hu/index.html, Web Gallery of Art, website contains over 8,000 digital reproductions of European paintings and sculptures created between the years 1150 and 1750, supplemented with commentary on their technique and history. Whitney.org, Whitney Museum of American Art, OL Center. Wiesenthal.com/mot, Museum of Tolerance. Winterthur.org, Delaware. WMOF.com, Western Museum of Flight. worldofescher.com, Escher, MC, The World of. wwar.com. europe.com/org/Tesla, Great Scientist. Museum websites 11. 24hourmuseum.org.uk, 24-hour museum. 24hourmuseum.org.uk/find_fr.htm. 2k.si.edu, Virtual Smithsonian. aam-us.org, the American Association of Museums. aam-us.org/museum resources/acred/list.cfm, accredited museums. abt.org, American Ballet Theatre. accessplace.com/arts.htm, accessplace, museums, news, theatre. adlerplanetarium.org. aerospacemuseum.org. agallawfame.com, agriculture. nationalaviation.org, aviation. alexanderpalace.org/catherinepalace/index.html, the Catherine Palace of Tsarskoye Selo. alinari.com/company/eng/museo.htm, Museum of History of Photography. americanart.si.edu/index3.cfm, National Museum of American Art, the. americancelebrationonparade.com, Parade Float Hall of Fame. americanhistory.si.edu. amn.org, Art Museum Network. amnh.org, American Museum of Natural History. amnh.org, American Museum of Natural History. amnh.org, the American Museum of Natural History. amnh.org/exhibitions. aphf.org, Police Museum. art.net, Art on the Net. art.uiuc.edu. artdaily.com, Art Daily, valuable resource for current information on the art world. artic.edu, Art Institute of Chicago. artlex.com, Artlex, art dictionary with over 1,700 terms relating to all aspects of the visual arts, intended to be used by anyone interested or involved in the arts. artlink.com, Artlink. artmuseums.com. arts.gov, National Endowment for the Arts. artsenecal.com/lacma.html, Los Angeles County Museum of Art. arts-et-metiers.net, Le Musée des Arts et Métiers. artsjournal.com, Arts Journal, the daily digest of arts and cultural journalism, edited by Douglas McLennan, formerly an arts columnist and artsum reporter with the Seattle Post-Intelligencer and the Seattle Weekly. Arts Journal is a daily digest of some of the best online arts and cultural journalism. artsstudio.com, the State Russian Museum. artsusa.org, Arts USA.